1999, the Oakland Athletics and their fans witnessed the emergence of three young starting pitchers who created a dominating starting rotation and became known as the Big Three. This trio earned 275 wins and led the A's to 4 straight postseason appearances. Today, the A's are proud to honor the contributions of the Big Three to the Athletics franchise history. At this time, please welcome A's President Michael Crowley and the person responsible for scouting and drafting the Big Three, Special Assistant to the General Manager, Brady Fuson. And now, please welcome the first of the Big Three to make his Major League debut, the active leader in the majors in wins, Tim Hudson. Up next, the 2001 American League wins leader, Mark Mulder. The 2002 American League Cy Young Award winner, Barry Zito. At this time, Mr. Crowley and Mr. Dusan are presenting Tim, Mark, and Barry with 3 magnums of Cabernet Sauvignon, courtesy of Groff Vineyards in Oakdale. Each bottle has been specially engraved to serve as a lasting memento of their time with the Oakland Athletics organization. The Big Three will go down in history as one of the most dominant collection of starting pitchers ever to play for the Athletics franchise. The entire organization, A's fans and baseball fans throughout the Bay Area, thank them for all the great memories and wish them well in their lives after baseball. Another round of applause, please, for the Big Three. Tossing out today's ceremonial first pitches, the Big Three, Tim Hudson, Mark Mulder, and Barry Zito. Okay, guys. Fire away. And they did. On behalf of all Bay Area baseball fans, we want to thank Tim, Mark, and Barry for long-lasting baseball memories. The Big Three.
Hey guys!
Yesterday, two veterans, Barry Zito and Tim Hudson, took center stage as they returned to the mound of the Coliseum where their careers began. But it was a Giants rookie who stole the show as Jared Parker blasted 3 home runs, making history on an already historic day. Today, Bob Melvin and the boys will look to get the series win in the home finale versus their Cross Bay rivals. The Oakland faithful have stood by their team all season long, and a Bay Bridge Series win would be a nice way to wrap up the 2015 home season. It's the A's and the Giants coming up next. It is the final home game of this 2015 season here at the O.K. Coliseum, and it is a beautiful day for baseball. Jared Parker is the hitting story of this series. And for the A's this afternoon, they're going to send the young lefter Sean Nolan to the mound. So the A's will try to win the series today. It's the A's and the Giants coming up on CSN California. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball, along with Ray Fosse. I'm Glenn Kuiper. So the pitching matchup today, Sean Nolan making his 5th start against Chris Heston, who has 11 wins, but he's having a tough time getting that 12th win. And for Nolan, again, it's a chance for him to make an impression looking ahead to 2016.
You know, Kuip, one's a left-hander, one's a right-hitter. Of course, Nolan, the lefty, they're very similar in their approach. They're not overpowering with their fastball. The changeups are good. Off-speed pitches are good. I think you're going to see very similar pitching from both today. Again, one being a right, one being a left. But I think if you're trying to be patient, try to be patient, because you're going to get off-speed pitches, and if that happens, fastballers, you're going to try to locate it. But very similar in the way they pitch. Should be an interesting matchup today between two young pitchers.
And speaking of 2016, I got to believe the Giants have taken notice of Jared Parker. Unbelievable what he has done in this series. 3 home runs yesterday, a home run on Friday, and not a cheapie in the group.
That's the whole thing. He has the power, and since Nolan's a lefty today, what's the big deal? He can hit lefties, he can hit righties. He did it yesterday, he did it Friday night. He's been something of a show for the San Francisco Giants, and yesterday helped them win the ball game, and of course they're still in the race. But the shots that he hit, I don't think I've ever seen, especially the one he hit Friday night. You don't see him go up as high as he went in the suites, above the suites here at the Coliseum. But a very good player, and we can only hope that the other Parker named Jared will be coming back next year as a pitcher for the Athletics. Maybe they'll go head-to-head.
Yeah, that would be a good thing for the A's. I agree. So the A's will try to get a series win on the final home game of this 2015 season, and it is a special day as the A's honoring the Big Three. Mark Mulder, Barry Zito, Tim Hudson, they threw out the ceremonial first pitch. So the A's looking for a win in front of the Big Three. We'll be back.
In California is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Taste the new spicy nacho chicken sandwich munchie meal tonight, only at Jack in the Box. And by Toyota. The full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota. Let's go places.
Sean Nolan, today's starter for the Athletics, takes the field. Gold tops this afternoon with white pants for the Athletics. So the A's take the field, trying to get a series win over the Giants. Game time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open this weekend. 72 degrees on a beautiful Sunday afternoon baseball, and this is the final home game of the season for the Athletics. So they'll try to finish it with a W. Let's look at the lineup for the visiting San Francisco Giants. Pagan, Tomlinson, Duffy, Posey, Bird, Crawford, Parker, Williamson, and Brown.
Sean Nolan, one win for the Athletics and one win for Sean Nolan. He'll try to make it 2 today. He's the ever face of the Giants, but maybe that will help him as San Francisco still right now okay in Colorado, scoreless. As I'm sure the Giants will be watching that game. You never know. I mean, you can always look at 2012. What a remarkable close, and I think every team can think that way. But Sean Nolan trying to pick up a win in the home finale.
So first pitch of the game is down around the knees for a strike to Angel Pagan.
107.
Pagan, Tomlinson, and Duffy, the top three in the Giants order. 267 with 3 home runs and 35 RBIs. And it's a quick 0-2.
As I mentioned, Sean Nolan not overpowering, and he threw a 80-mile-an-hour changeup first pitch to Pagan, and we thought he might be swinging the first fastball, so he changed speeds on him.
Stephen Vogt behind the plate again. That's a good sign.
Iron Man 3 in a row. Of course, he may want to catch the rest of the season. Carson Blair has a little bit of a knee issue. Josh Fegley, concussion. So he may have to catch it for the rest of it.
And he may. Yeah. So Pagan strikes out to start the ball game. Defensively for the A's, Folt, Burns, and Reddick left, center, and right. Valencia, Simeon on the left side of the diamond. Laurie and Canna on the right side, with Vogt doing the catching. So one batter, one strikeout for Sean Nolan, making his 5th start for the A's. And here's Tomlinson. First pitch strike. Tomlinson at 292, a homer and 16 RBIs. He had a big game yesterday. 4 hits. In the series, he's 5 for 11 with 4 runs scored. In the hole. And Tomlinson with good speed is going to beat it out. Not a whole lot you can do. It sounded like it may have been a broken back. Tomlinson runs well, so he's got an infield hit. Spanish audio for today's game is available through your SAP button, and it's presented by Jack Daniels.
Batting in the third position.
Well, it looked like they were shading him to the opposite field, and
quite a bit.
And Sean Nolan's not going to be overpowering, and you're right there. The umpires, Bill Miller is the crew chief. He's at third. He was behind the plate yesterday. Adrian Johnson at second. They rotate Pat Holberg at first with Joe Morph behind the plate. That was a little surprising because Nolan with the right-handers probably the guy could be out in front more than anything.
And Duffy with a line drive left field, a base hit. That Duffy can hit.
By that time, Sean Nolan went harder with the fastball first pitch, and as a result, he got it and left it up a little bit too much. Location, as we have seen in this series, when you elevate pitchers, they're going to get hit and get hit hard, as Duffy did on that one.
So Expo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. So 4th hit in the series for Duffy. So 2 on, 1 out, and then here's Posey.
Can't they just have a simple 1-2-3 first inning?
No,
I mean,
it's against the rules.
Just an easy 1-2-3. Get excited in the bottom of the first.
First pitch down and in to Posey, who was hitting .323 with 19 home runs and 94 RBIs. He's 4 for 9 with an RBI in this series.
Well, the way he has hit the opposite field, and just have to wonder if Lester Posey is going to continue to try to do that. If you make a mistake, especially off speed, he'll pull it. And they are shading him everything to the right. So you might as well pitch him accordingly. Like that, 51 hits to right field. That's impressive.
Pitch is high. Looking at Posey's numbers, he's got 27 doubles, but how about this rate? 56 walks and 51 strikeouts. And he will stretch out with 2 strikes and take a little bit out of his swing. This one to right, but playable. Reddick backs up. He's got it. Tomlinson stays at second. So a big second out.
Well, we talked about getting behind the ball as an outfielder. Josh Reddick did it perfectly. And with one out, that being the second, Tomlinson not really thinking about heading to third, but Josh Reddick set himself up perfectly just in case he wanted to try to go to third.
So here's Bird. .22 homers, 72 RBIs for Bird. Simeon has it. He's going to go to second just in time, and Nolan gets out of the jam. So the Giants strand a pair in the top of the first. Bottom of the first coming up. Today it's Burns, Canna, Reddick, Valencia, Vogt, Butler, Laurie, Fold, and Simeon. And the pitcher is the rookie right-hander Chris Heston, who's making his 30th start.
Well, you're right about the 11 wins. Been a very good start for him in this season, but like Sean Nolan, not really overpowering. And when you have a couple of pitchers pitching for the first time against the respective teams, that makes it a little bit interesting. So a couple of hits by the Giants off Sean Nolan. But Heston, that's why Adam Roden so good with his video.
First pitch to Burns is foul. Foul ball alley.
See, Burns doesn't care what kind of scouting report is on anybody. Look at him. He's looking up here because he heard you say that. He said somebody else got him. Said he's got competition.
Down and in. So 1-1 to Burns, 297 with 5 home runs and 40 RBIs. He's 3 for 10 in this series with a homer, a couple of doubles, and 4 runs batted in. So he's had a good series. Some big hits.
Yeah, you said it best about playing in September. Billy Burns, the final week starts tomorrow. Burns, Canna, some of the rookies on the ball club played well, and I think their motivation is to continue to play well so they can show they can play in the month that maybe they had not played as much in the past.
And big curveball, and Burns swings and misses. So one away here in the bottom of the first. The defense for the Giants has Parker, Pagan, and Bird in the outfield. Duffy, Crawford, Tomlinson, Posey on the infield, and Trevor Brown is your catcher. Posey at first again today. Bruce Bochy's Giants 7 back with 8 to play. And they will host the Dodgers for 4 games starting tomorrow. So the thought of the Dodgers celebrating on Giants home turf probably isn't that thrilling for the orange and black, but that could possibly be what is going to happen.
Best case scenario from the Giants, and I'm not saying it's something they can do, but think of winning 5 straight, they don't have to worry about it.
That's true. That's right. If you need more motivation, that would be it.
That's it.
Don't let your rivals celebrate on your turf. So 2-1 the count to Mark Canna.
I think you said it best from the A's standpoint, trying to win the home finale because it has not been a great home schedule, or at least success this year. And that man there with big crowds, he always wants his team to play well.
The A's are 34-46 at home this year. Overall 65-90 now. They are 1-4 against the Giants, and they're 11-8 in interleague play this year, as they have played the National League West, National League Central next year. So 2-2. Now Heston steps off. So an early meeting between pitcher and catcher.
Now, they threw him a pretty good curveball for a strike that he took. Kind of a curveball at Mark Canna, the right-hander, broke over the plate for a strike. A crucial pitch on 2-2. Although with Canna, it usually doesn't matter what the count is. He wanted to throw a changeup. That's why he called him out.
And it runs inside. Heston has lots of movement on his pitches, to the point where sometimes he has trouble controlling it. And he has not won in his last 9 starts. So he was rolling along. But his last win came on July 27th. So that's 2 months.
Good day. It's amazing.
And he's won 11. He's got a no-hitter this year. Trying to finish strong. Tapped foul. Probably could not throw the ball straight if you paid him to do it. Just ball moves all over the place.
Heston's ready. Mark Canna getting set.
And a breaking ball, and he gets Canna down and out of the strike zone. So that's the second out. As the no-hitter is on the 9th of June in New York. A little different Mets team now than it was then, but he had it all working.
There's a movement on a nice pitch, a 2-seam fastball that better pick up the ball. Just dropped it. He got it. Pretty impressive.
So 6 no-hitters this season, and his was the first. He threw 110 pitches. And Reddick on the first pitch grounds out. So side retired. So Heston with a 3-up, 3-down inning, and we're going to the second. No score. Max Muscle Sports Nutrition, now at 25 Bay Area locations. Come visit our newest stores in Pleasanton and Gilroy. Very nice pregame ceremony with the big three out there. They each threw out a ceremonial first pitch. Great to see Mark Mulder. Mark's going to come up and join us in the booth at some point in the next couple innings, so that'll be fun to visit with the big left-hander.
Amazingly, the catchers were standing and squatting so close together, yet they all threw strikes right to them. That was impressive.
They all had good control.
Well, why don't we just have all three of them come up here? I mean, Hudson and Zito aren't pitching.
I don't think either of them are going to pitch today. I think that's a good idea.
Let's let them all three come up. And
so 1-1 the count to Crawford. It'll be Crawford, Parker, and Williamson here in the second inning. Shift is on for Crawford, and he cues one toward Valencia. Valencia backhands, throws across the diamond, and it's not in time. So the defense was pulled over, and that included Valencia. He was maybe 4 or 5 steps toward the shortstop, and he just could not get over there. So a leadoff single. So here's the first pitch, and check it out.
See how close the catches are. And then
left fielder.
11 strikes. That was impressive.
Jared.
I mean, those people behind the three catchers were in danger a lot of times.
So that was a very cool moment.
Barry, as we thought and mentioned yesterday, and wanted to do so well. Tim Hudson said the same thing, but both got, and we're so appreciative of the opportunity to go head to head. And I think we experienced something that maybe we'll never see again. Kind to the point of the shifts with a team that's never seen Nolan. And you shift, you're going to have a lot of those squib balls off the end of the bat. So if you played straight up, those are going to be outs. And that's not.
Parker lines on the right center. He's got a hit. And Crawford will stop at second. Crawford nursing a bad calf, so he was not going to try for third.
So they kept Parker in the park.
Batting in the 8th position.
So Stephen Vogt wanted it outside and had to reach back as the pitch ended up in the middle of the plate.
So the Parker story continues. 5 for 9 now in the series. 4 home runs and a single. So a couple of hits for the Giants in the first and 2 more here in the second.
The way the Giants are swinging, you'd think it's the final game of the season because they are swinging early. You'd think if they had not seen a pitcher before, they might be taking some pitches, but everything must look straight enough to them that they're swinging.
Outside corner, and it's 0-2. Trevor Brown to follow, another right-handed hitter. Hit hard, right field, base hit. And Crawford will be held at third. The throw is way off line, and home plate was unattended for a short period of time, but Crawford was not going to try anything. So the bases are loaded, nobody out.
But again, location inside, pitch outside, and Sean Nolan in this inning unfortunately has not hit the target that Stephen Vogt is asking for the pitch. And hitting by the right-handed Williamson to be able to hit the ball at the outside part of the plate to right field. Didn't try to pull it. And
so 5 hits in the game for the Giants already. They had 19 hits yesterday. So here's Brown, the catcher, 5 for 19 on the year. In the dirt, blocked nicely by Vogt. Outfield shifted slightly toward right center, not a lot. And that one driven towards center. Burns goes back. He's got it. Crawford tags. Crawford will score. Parker tags. In fact, everybody tags and everybody moves up.
And for some reason, nobody was at second base, and Brett Lawrie went over to first for some reason. I have no idea why.
Because I didn't think Williamson was. I did not see him tag up originally.
No, the throw should have come to second base on the bag. And Lawrie again goes over to first base. Simeon gets the ball, but second's vacated, and Williamson just coasted in. To Simeon. And he said actually throw it to him because nobody was there. Wow. First baseman goes over to be a cutoff man on the mound.
And that one's hit toward Burns, and that should be deep enough. Parker tags. Parker comes in to score, and it's back-to-back sacrifice flies for the Giants, and they lead 2-0. So more early swinging as Pagan goes after the first pitch.
Now batting.
5 batters, 11 pitches.
Kelby Tomlinson.
Amazing.
And there's Tomlinson.
You always want to keep the double play in order when possible, and that's why. And I think what Simeon said, throw it to me instead of Burns, should have been throwing second base, but nobody was there, and that's why he threw it to Simeon. So there was a little bit of confusion on base coverage.
Well, as this inning goes on, Ray, and what has happened so far, it hasn't hurt them yet, but it could here if Tomlinson were to get a base hit. And he slices one to right, and it is fair. Tomlinson with another hit. So it's 3-0.
And now it does hurt. That's first and third otherwise.
So Williamson scores. And really that ball is straight and right down the middle of the plate.
Number 5, Matt Duffy.
I must say they're swinging early, but the Giants are somehow realizing that Otero's going to loosen the A's bullpen. Seems like the Giants are realizing cannot try to pull pitches against him because there have been a lot of opposite field hits. I'm sorry, it's on the own. Dan Otero was up so much yesterday, he might have tired him. It seemed like he was.
You just generally glanced down there and figured it's Otero.
Yeah.
Both teams used 8 pitchers yesterday. Strike called on the outside corner to Duffy. Way outside, so trying to keep it away from Duffy, who singled in the first inning. So with 6 hits already today, the Giants now have 35 hits in 20 innings in this series. Duffy drives one toward right, but Reddick gets back. He's got it side retired. Free spot for San Francisco. So bottom of the second coming up. Giants 3, A's nothing. 4 and 780, DirecTV channel 698-1 and AT&T channel 768. If you can't find Comcast Sportsnet Plus, log on to csncalifornia.com or call your local cable provider. Raiders win today in Cleveland. Exciting game right down toward the end, but the Raiders hang on to winning. So bottom of the second, Heston now with a 3-0 lead. It's Valencia, Vogt, and Butler. Valencia at 296 with 16 home runs and 61 RBIs. And the curve tapped toward Crawford. Valencia is out, 1 away.
Cannot try to pull the breaking ball, and again the difference so far in the first 4 batters for the A's facing Heston and what the Giants hitters against Oakland, the number of opposite field hits, and that slider, that breaking ball to Valencia outside, and he did try to pull it.
First pitch to Vogt. Sinker just a bit low. Vogt at 263, 18 home runs, 67 RBI. Butler to follow here in the second. Your changeup at 80 miles an hour. Mini shift on for Vogt on the infield. Crawford is playing over towards second base. Tomlinson out on the grass. So another sellout crowd today on what is kind of a warm, hazy day. Three in Anaheim for the A's. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, off day on Thursday, and then 3 in Seattle to wrap up the season. Grounded toward Tomlinson, who picks it up and throws to first, 2 away.
3 consecutive ground ball outs after 2 strikeouts to start the game.
Well, if Heston is throwing strikes, which at times can be difficult, if he is, and we'll see a lot of ground ball outs. Billy Butler has been swinging the bat well. A couple of home runs in this series. One to right field, and then one off the foul pole in left field.
Yeah, a hitter can wait as well as Billy Butler does and go opposite field, but see him load up and look for a pitch and pull it down the left field line to hit the foul pole. That was impressive yesterday.
Sinker in, 2-1.
I think sometimes too, if a hitter is able to hit the ball to the opposite field the way Butler does, they'll pitch him inside more. And that's when he can react on those pitches and pull.
Such a chess game, isn't it? Hitting.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. At the point you can look for something until you get to 2 strikes. Not now. Shook off in, going away.
And a fastball, and Butler swings and misses. So 6 up, 6 down with 3 strikeouts for Chris Heston. And we are going to the third. Giants 3, A's nothing. SNCA Data Strong fan, you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. Check out that hat. I don't know. What do you do? What do you do with that hat, Ray? Does it make an A's fan mad? Does it make a Giants fan mad?
He's wearing a Giants jersey, so I think he's more Giants.
Okay.
I think that tips it off right there.
Yeah, I think you're right. Got to be brave to do that.
I don't know if there's other Sundays you'd want to do that in this stadium.
Probably not.
Clay Wood at the end of this game today, before we get out of here, he may.
Oh yeah.
He may be changing the field.
Posey up the middle, and he's got a base hit. 7th hit for the Giants. Pitch outside and right up the middle.
Number 6.
That's why he's a 300+ hitter and uses the whole field, and that is a smart hitter. He's going to hit his home runs, but bottom line, he's going to be on base a lot. That's if they have the Lon patch on their left shoulder. L-O-N for Lon Simmons. Passed away on Easter Sunday.
We miss Lon. He'd be watching today. So Marlon Byrd steps in. He grounded out to end the first inning, stranded a couple of runners. Byrd is 3 for 9 with 4 RBIs in this series. Arnold Leone up again. Changeup, and Byrd swings and misses. Giants with all 3 of their runs in the second inning. A couple of sacrifice flies and a 2-out RBI hit. Laurie knocks it down, scrambles after it, throws, and they just get Byrd at first. Very close play. Posey to second.
Anytime that happens, panic sets in, and that's first baseman for Mark Canha. He has to be prepared because here come the Birds. Nice stretch and just barely got the hustling Byrd, but nice recovery by
Number 35.
Brett Laurie. Ball well in front of him, and stretch and got him easily. Maybe he's too much every place. He's all over the place. Laurie is.
So here's Crawford. Crawford with an infield hit in the second, and that started the 3-run inning. And the first pitch in the first try. So lefty on lefty. Crawford a 260 average against left-handed pitching, 256 right-handed. So he's not bothered by the lefty-lefty thing a whole lot. And he lines one but foul right toward the bullpen. So 0-2 with Jarrett Parker waiting in the on-deck circle.
So he's young enough to know you got to look good.
Yeah.
With the cameras on, you got to make sure your uniform's just right.
Laurie backhands, his throw is low, and Canha can't dig it out, and everybody's safe. He rushed it, and I don't know that he had to rush it. And I say that, Ray, because Crawford's not running at 100%.
You know, even if he's running 100%, he still had time to set himself, take a throw hop, and throw it. And for some reason, decided to throw it without really moving, and as a result, threw a sinker, and Canna this time couldn't hang it.
Now batting,
Handle it, and
27, Jared
it's almost like he got his
Parker.
feet turned a little bit. Canna, you tell you probably should have caught it, but it's not that easy when the ball's in the dirt to decide kind of a hop it's going to be. So a gift, base runner.
So now first and third one out. Here's Parker. A little bit outside with an off-speed pitch. Parker lined a single to right field and scored in the second. Swings through that one and misses.
You got Parker in the series he's had against the Athletics, and saw Ryan Doe when he first came up and did not give up anything, and since Friday night, of course, Parker has been the one to do it. Yesterday, Jared Parker, following the monster shot on Friday night, this one opposite field against Barry Zito, over the out-town scoreboard. Then he goes straight away center, gets Drew Palmer once. So really, batting practice here, just a good job. Left field, center field, slam right field. That was a big boy there. Grand salami and 3 home run game, a grand slam. What a day. Probably did not want Saturday to end.
No, it's true. And Parker's had good power numbers in the minor leagues. He was the second round pick of the Giants in 2010. Pulled off that one a little bit. In fact, he was a star player at the University of Virginia. Sean Doolittle, also from the University of Virginia. So 2-2 the count. Hard breaking ball, and Parker lays off.
Should throw him the same one, or at least the same one he threw for strike 2. It's kind of a sweeping slider. That was more the curveball. Go right back to the same breaking ball. You got to be sitting fastball, and Crawford with the bad leg might not be running.
Crawford, decent lead. He's not going anywhere, and the pitch is low, and he walked him.
He was either fooled and took it like he knew it was coming, or just did not catch the inside part of the plate. That's going to do it for Sean Nolan.
So early pitching change. Sean Nolan goes 2 1/3 innings, and Leon is coming in. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts.
next season. The A's offer a variety of full and partial season plans that qualify for great benefits, including half-price parking, flexible ticket exchange program, and more. For more information, call 510-638-GO-A's or visit athletics.com/2016.
All right, it's 3-0. Giants lead. He's got a suit and tie on with the big hat.
So he's got an A's big head.
What do we call it? The guy you don't want to sit behind?
Well, the thing about that, games get so bad they just pull it down and go to sleep. Nobody knows.
So Arnold Leone comes in here in the 3rd inning with 1 out and the bases loaded, as he's trying to get Mac Williamson. Fouled right at the plate, and Leone got in on Williamson, so the count 0-2. Posey's at 3rd, Crawford at 2nd, Parker at 1st. .48 pitches for Nolan. And that one hit toward right field. Posey tags. Reddick goes back, reaches up to make the catch. So it'll be another sacrifice fly for the Giants. They've had 3 sacrifice flies in 3 innings. So they lead 4-0. Williamson does his job.
Let's see, after a ground ball by Bird, Crawford should have been an out. That's out of the inning. That's a run, and now still have to try to get out of this inning. But just the little things happening, allowing the Giants really to score an extra run in the 2nd inning, and this run should never have scored. But a defensive error turns into a run. Sean Nolan could still be pitching, but he is in the dugout.
So 1st and 3rd now, 2 outs for Trevor Brown. Fastball inside. Sacrifice fly for Brown in the 2nd inning, picking up his 2nd career RBI. Little flare, and that's going to fall. And it's going to bring home another run as Crawford trots in to score. Parker goes to 3rd, and it is now 5-0 Giants.
Off the end of the bat, just hit softly enough. No chance for Brett Lawrie. No chance for Billy Burns from center field. No chance for the Giants. Another hit to center field. The center field to right field. Duffy pulled the ball in the 1st inning. That's about it. Everything else center field and opposite field.
So now to the top of the order in Pagano. Giants as a team this year are 5th in the National League in runs scored. They're 11th in home runs. But where they can be difficult, they're 1st in average, 1st in on base percentage, 2nd in hits, and 2nd in doubles. Pagano strikeout and a sacrifice fly. And now it's 2-0.
Mueller just saying, see ball, hit ball. Scouting report, forget it.
That one fouled straight back. So a couple of hits in this inning, a walk, an error, sacrifice fly. Now Leon just trying to get the A's back in the dugout. Simeon gonna have to throw across the diamond, and his throw is in time, and they got Pagan.
Yeah, Pagan wants him to check.
And I think the Giants are going to check it.
Yeah, Pagan immediately looked to the dugout. He jumped, balls in the glove.
He's out.
Go to center field.
So close play, but he's out. And Bruce Bochy's going to see it, and he's going to head back into the dugout. And when it's all said and done, the Giants are going to get a couple of runs on a couple of hits. So they will not check it. And when we come back, Mark Mulder is going to join us, and we'll look forward to that. 5-0 Giants as we go to the bottom of the third. Third inning, and the goodies on Mark Mulder, drafted by the A's second overall in 1998, a 21-game winner in 2001, 81 wins with the Oakland A's, and now we get to talk with Mark Mulder, the big left-hander from South Holland, Michigan. How are you, Mark?
I'm doing good.
So how much was yesterday fun for you? I mean, we saw you sitting up there, and you're watching these games. Were you nervous a little bit?
No, I wasn't nervous. I just honestly wanted to see them both pitch well, and I know it didn't go the way they had hoped, but man, the ovations they both got. I mean, I was part of that. I was standing up when they came out of the game. I was just happy for them. I mean, you think about this. They both play for both teams, and then for it to end like this at the end of the season, the last two home games here in Oakland, and they get to pitch against each other. I mean, that's awesome.
Funny thing is, we looked at the schedule beginning of the season. You got to be kidding me. The Giants and the A's, final three home games, and as it turned out, it's the best thing that happened. You have to have that.
So Tim Hudson, he was fine in the first inning, but then he just couldn't find the strike zone, which I'm sure is very frustrating for him. But all in all, it was great to see him. Did you feel like, I mean, he got here first when we look at the big three, but did you guys look at him as kind of a leader of the pitching staff, even though he really wasn't a whole lot older?
Without a doubt. But he was. He acted, well, I can't say he always acted older, but
baseball-wise.
But right? Technically, you know, he was married, he had kids first, all that sort of stuff. So he was technically the grown-up of the three of us, I guess you could say. But you know, how grown up, I'm not sure. I mean, he's still a little kid. I mean, down there on the field, my son said to me, "Dad, don't bounce it." And he goes, "Don't worry, I'll miss high and away like I did yesterday." You know, so I mean, that's typical him, though. You know.
And Barry Zito yesterday, I'm sure he was disappointed as well. But the guy really hasn't pitched a whole lot lately. But
how much you doing? Conversed with the two of them before. I mean, obviously you haven't played, they did. But conversation between the three of you? And even leading up to this, how much was there between you guys?
I didn't speak with any of them on the phone, but we definitely were sending texts back and forth.
Of course.
I had been texting a bunch with Huddy's wife, you know, that kind of stuff. So yeah, we've been talking, not a ton, but enough. I know when the A's first contacted me about doing it, I texted Zito. I said, "Hey, are you going to make it?" He's like, "I'm not sure. I'll ask my wife. I'll let you know tomorrow." I wake up in the morning, a couple hours go by. I think I dropped the kids off at school, and then I get a text saying, "Change of plans." They just called, and I'm going to pitch. So don't tell anybody yet. You know, so that was exciting. I mean, you know, people, when I was doing the ESPN stuff, they said, "Hey, do you think Zito deserves it?" I said, "Well, you know, it would take a spot for somebody. He wouldn't want to do that." But the way it all ended up working out, I thought it was great.
Now, did you guys get together last night, have some fun, have some laughs with the families?
We didn't. Huddy had a crew in town.
Okay.
You know, he had his brothers here. Kim's parents were here, so he had a whole bunch of stuff going on. But it was nice to see that we obviously saw each other earlier this morning, and I've been in the seats yesterday and today with their families and stuff. So it was good.
Now, we want you to stick around because the way Heston's going, it's going to go fast, unlike the top half of the inning. But I have to ask you on a personal side, you were that close coming back last year.
Yep.
What changed in the period of time that you were inactive? See what I mean? So just hang with us. You have nothing to do, right?
No, yeah. I got nothing. My wife can take care of the kids.
What's new, huh?
So another 3 up, 3 down inning. We're through 3, 5-0 Giants. For joining us, part of the Big Three. These are the Big Three numbers with the Athletics. 81 wins for Mulder, 92 for Hudson, 102 for Zito, and they were together from 2000 to 2004. So 5 years together.
And as Huddy said, we got GQ sitting in between us here. Mr. GQ. But the one thing, and again, I thought it was remarkable that you figured out something. You were at, what, 5 years?
Yeah. 5
years, and you figured out something. Kind of explain, because you went to the Angels spring training. I think if you hadn't gotten hurt, you'd have made the team. What did you find out that you could come back and? Well,
Kyle Loesch was a good buddy of mine, and you know there's a handful of times over the last 4 or 5 years we golf all the time where he'd say, "Hey, would you mind throwing with me?" To where he just didn't have somebody to throw with, and I'm like, "Yeah, no problem." So we'd kind of meet and play catch before we'd go play golf, basically. It was essentially what it was. But I was watching, I think it was the NLCS maybe, and Paco Rodriguez was throwing it. It was just the way his hands came out of his glove. It was not what he does at all. The way his hand comes up and goes straight up. That was not it. I think a lot of people thought that's what I meant. The arm action was still the same. It was just something about me separating my hands up here. And I called Kyle. Our daughters had the same birthday. And I said, "Hey, after the birthday party, we're going to go to the park down the street." He's like, whatever, fine. You know, and we threw, and he just kind of, and he was with me in St. Louis when I was going through all the issues, and he kind of said the same thing. He's like, you got to be kidding me. That was coming out good.
Yeah.
So we just kind of, I went from there and tried it a few times, and I was like, all right, well, now if I'm going to do this, I need to. It's been 5 years. Yeah. I wasn't out of shape, but I definitely wasn't in shape. Right. There's a big difference. So, you know, I spent that whole winter just absolutely busting my butt and throwing at Chad Muller's indoor place in Phoenix. So I had a mound, had a high school kid catching me all the time, and started getting after it, and, you know, signed with the Angels, and things were going really, really good. And, you know, second day of camp, we're almost done with our agility stuff, and I was literally going from the agility stuff to get my cleats on, or I had my cleats on, but I was literally going over to pick up my glove and head over to the mound for us to throw our first sides. Wow. And now I had thrown with their pitching coach, Mike Butcher, a bunch that off season, but not for everybody else. And we backpedal, and I'm probably going 60-70% effort, and I stop to go forward, and I fall forward kind of on my hands, and there's this loud pop, but I stood up and I started to run, and I couldn't move. Kind of like, I'm sure you guys saw the video of Wainwright coming out of the box, where you just kind of look behind you, and I thought the sole of my shoes actually broke off. So I'm standing there looking at my shoe, and all of a sudden the trainer comes up and goes, "Mark, do not move." And when he said that, I kind of went, "Wait, what was that pop?" Oh yeah, this hurts, you know. And they had to cut my shoes down, right down the tongue of the shoe to get it off, and surgery a week later, ruptured Achilles. I don't wish it on anyone.
Yeah. You know, and I only brought that up, and I know it's got to be tough to talk about. I just want people to realize that you were that close. I seriously think, and Kip and I talked about it, that you could have made the Angels rotation, because they were struggling last year, and they were looking for starters. They made trades to get starters, and you were that close, and it could have been a big three still pitching. And, you know, I mean, to that point, and of course you would have had an Angels uniform on, perhaps, but then that's a great story. I know how much you had worked to get back to that point, and it was sad, almost like Scott Sizemore here, that he was playing third, blew out his knee, and Donaldson became a superstar, you know, because of that.
And more for me, it was just, you know, it was a fluke how it all kind of came about, but the work was, you know, I wanted my kids to see what I did.
Yeah.
And they never got to see that.
Valencia throws a mark. Mark, can you stay one more half inning?
Yeah, why not?
Appreciate it. So a 3 up, 3 down
6
inning
more
for
innings.
Arnold Leone. Bottom of the fourth coming up. Look at that youngster, huh? In Cleveland on April 18th of 2000. What do you remember about that?
You know, not much. I really don't. I remember giving up 2 home runs and getting the W. And that's honestly, I remember Manny hitting the opposite field homer in the first inning on a good sinker down and away. And I kind of just went, Oh, so this is what it's like here.
Why, and I always tell the story that when we had fireworks, they'd have to wait an hour for it to get dark because if you were pitching against Burley or somebody, why did you pitch as quickly as you did?
Well, I didn't feel I did it on well, I did.
Well, I mean,
it happened that way.
Yeah. And
I think it was more so we could get up in the clubhouse, we could all actually sit down together, have a meal, and then we still had time to get out to our cars and get out before the panic of everybody trying to get to their cars. So, the players all got away and got home before anybody even left the stadium. Because normally, on a normal fireworks, game is done. You run through the shower, you throw your clothes on, and you take food with you.
Yeah. Could you go to every team in spring training and have that exact conversation?
Seriously. Because Kuip and I have talked about the pace of the game, which would be perfect for you.
Yeah.
And we feel, and I think it's true, that if a pitcher's ready to pitch, the hitter should be.
Without a doubt.
And if the pitcher's on the mound ready to go, the hitter's got to be in the batter's box. And, there's some, and I was talking to Eddie Montague, and he said there were some batters, our pitchers are so quick, he said, I had to hold them up so the hitter could actually get set. But bottom line, if you're ready, hitter's got to be there.
There were absolutely times where I was standing on the mound, I had my glove up, ready to go, and I'm just waiting for that guy to quit putting his batting gloves back on or tighten or shoes or, whatever.
Yeah, and Ray and I talk about it a lot, and we're both, listen, I complain about it a lot because, I just think guys do too many unnecessary things. But I think the hitters maybe are more at fault and take more time than the pitchers.
There are those handful of pitchers that walk around the mound after every pitch, but I feel like it is way more the hitters, like you said, that they step out, which I'm okay with stepping out of the box, but step out, get back in.
Sure.
You want to step out, take a couple steps to the grass and head back in, that's fine. That doesn't take any more time, but this is definitely helping.
Well, to take us back to Arizona, July, early before the All-Star break, when the Big Three faced the Arizona Diamondbacks. How special was that?
That's one of my most memorable games. Not just for me, but for me as the team. How well the three of us pitched.
Off the wall, and the A's have their first hit, and it's going to be a one-out double for Canada.
That first game, I pitched the first game of the series. I know Huddy had the second, then Zito the third, and I'm pretty sure we didn't get Randy Johnson that series, but I think Zito beat Schilling the last day, and we were hitter. Yeah, I was perfect going into the eighth, but I was so young, I don't even think I really realized exactly what was happening, and I think they took that out of their wallet.
Is that the jersey you wore then, man?
Yeah, I think they had it in their back pocket for the last 10 years.
Come on.
Come on, Voos.
Yeah, we need an iron there.
Yeah.
That's not right.
But that series, what did Schilling? I think that one of the greatest things is what you, I guess, were playing golf with Schilling in the offseason after they won the World Championship.
Schilling has made comments to me about that, where that series, when I was doing ESPN, he's like, you guys came in and we were just like, you got to be kidding me with this. But Mark Grace said to me once, he goes, to this day, he never had a no-hitter thrown against him. And his comment to me was, because we're members of the same course in Arizona, he said, to this day, it's the greatest game that anybody's thrown against me on the team I was on. Which, growing up in Chicago, I didn't really grow up a Cubs fan, but to have him say that was probably one of the cooler moments.
Well, you talk about a dominating series. The A's scored 10 runs. You guys gave up 2 in the whole 3-game series.
And they won the World Series.
And they won the World Series. And they were saying, thank God they didn't have to face you guys in the World Series because they wouldn't have had a chance. But that was. Now, I asked Cuddy the other day, how often, and somebody can go back statistically and find out, but do you remember many times when you would face this series, all three of you? And in other words, let's say the Giants come in for 3 games, the three of you would pitch like you did in Arizona.
I don't remember it happening often.
That's what I thought,
I'm sure there was I would guess it probably happened maybe 3-4 times if somebody looked it up, but I just don't really remember it because I'm sure if we had a 4-game series, there were numerous times where maybe the 3 of us did pitch in that series, but for it to just be a 3-game series, I don't remember it all that often, except maybe like that one going into an All-Star break or maybe ending a season.
Right. But do you think that everybody looked at the Diamondback series and think, God, we don't have to do that? Because, you think, and talk about the different types of pitchers that you guys were. You a certain way, Zito, of course, and Huddy.
Well, I think for me first, which Huddy was saying, we attacked guys, and not that Zito didn't, but it was more of a put in play, type stuff. And we could punch guys out at times, but we didn't want to. I wanted to throw 3 pitches and get 3 ground balls and get back in the dugout because that was quicker.
Right.
You know, Huddy came right at you with everything, with sinker, same thing. But he showed his emotions much more than I did. I don't feel I ever celebrated or got mad on the mound. Right. You know, either I wanted, whether I was up 10-0 or down 10-0, I was going to be the same.
You were.
And
exactly.
I liked it that way. That was me.
And Valencia is hit by a pitch, and the A's are going to have the bases loaded.
Oh, we hope he's all right. But, Mark, maybe you can explain as a pitcher. Heston goes through the first 9 batters, doesn't pitch out of the stretch. Now, all of a sudden, he walks a batter now, hits Valencia in the elbow.
Yeah, there's just times, maybe, you know, in between innings, I always threw a handful of pitches from the stretch because you need to keep doing that if you're not going to have those situations, because you don't want to get 3rd, 4th, 5th inning and not have thrown a single pitch from the stretch.
But it's just a coincidence in this half inning. Heston was just nonstop for 9 batters, and then all of a sudden the double, and now 3 on base. Wow. He's not wearing an elbow guard either. That thud that you heard in real time was his elbow. Probably wearing one of the next at bat.
So an opportunity here for the A's with 1 out and Stephen Vogt stepping in.
I have to ask you, and I know you made the attempt to come back, but when your first 5 years when you're out, how tough was it to separate from every day, every spring, getting ready, and all of a sudden, boom, and shut it down?
You know, it was different, but I can't say that it was tough because, to be honest with you, man, with the injuries I dealt with for the last 2 years in St. Louis, the last day of the season in 2008 was one of the best days ever.
Yeah, well,
because because I was so happy it was almost over with, to be honest, because I went to the park for basically 2 years, knowing.
Out at second and a double play. So the A's have the bases loaded, 1 out, and it's a 3-6-1
Stick around, hey, you know
double play. So we'll finish our conversation with Mark Mulder when we come back. The A's now trailing 5-0.
Wow.
So a little fun with Mark Mulder. You're just rocking and firing.
I wish my arm still worked like that. Although I did throw a strike, throwing out the first pitch, by the way.
With those guys that were so close together, too, the catchers, that was unbelievable. How much does your height help you when you pitch?
You know, I think everybody's different. I mean, you know, you want that downward angle, you know, so it definitely helped my sinker.
Yeah.
You know, you want that ball going down, and now that I'm on the other side of it, on this side, on the broadcast side, I talked to Torrey Hunter. I did a Twins game a couple months ago, and he kind of came up saying hello. And he just goes, man, everything you threw went down. I was like, yeah, except I remember one homer to right field. That's just because you hung it. But I mean, that was kind of my thing. I mean, I think if you are taller, as long as your hand's behind that ball and it's moving downward, then it's definitely going to help. But I don't think it means everything, because there's plenty of guys who are nice and tall and that don't have that angle.
Is there a season that stands out for you of the 5 that you were together with Hudson and Zito? I mean, one where you thought that was our best team. That's probably the year where we
probably 01.
Yeah.
That 01 team, that was, man, we were good. We really were. And that Yankees series in the playoffs, that was one of the toughest things that I'd been through. Having the game 1 and Huddy having game 2, and then Jeter's play that we see all the time still on highlights, and game 3, and me back in Yankee Stadium for game 5. It was, that was not, the moment was not too big for that team. It was just, we didn't have a team that had been there. When I went to St. Louis, that's when I saw that. When I played with the Larry Walkers and the Reggie Sanders and the Rollins and the Edmonds and
number 35,
Chris Carpenter, Matt Morris, stuff like that. They'd been there, done it, and that means a lot. And I know we saw a team like the Royals last year, and I think the game at that time, those veterans really showed you that way and showed you how to go about that, and we just didn't quite have that.
Since you were a part of it, and not to put you on the spot, but the 5-game division series, how tough is that?
Well,
and I guess a better question, would you be a proponent of a 7-game division series just because of the importance of game 5, as it turned out to be, unfortunately for the A's in the early times, the demise of the ball club?
Well, I think a 7-game series, you see more of the team. You need another starting pitcher. You need a game 4 guy most of the time. At some point, somebody else has to pitch. And the years when we had Corey Lytle, Ted Lilly, I mean, talk about staffs, and you just use more of your team, and you need more of those guys in a 7-game series. I'm more of a fan of a 7-game series, but you know what, whether it's 5 or 7, a win's a win. And with the staff that we had in those years, I laugh about it now. It's kind of a joke that we weren't able to win one of those. It really is. And it's really disappointing to look back and just be like, man, I can't believe we didn't get past that.
But you were a part of the 2002, which had to be a special time. But to have all that happen, and to remember a 20-game win streak, and at times you had to be thinking, well, it's over, and all of a sudden you're just coming back. How special was that?
Well, I think up to win 14, that's when the strike was possibly going to happen. So to be honest, wins 10 through 14, nobody was really talking about us. So because it was like, well, is baseball going to go on strike? And then we come back from that, and that's when all of a sudden we started rattling these things off. But I think it was 18, 19, 20, or 17 through 20. I ran up those stairs down there every game with all the guys running, just going, I can't believe what I just saw. Because every day was just something different. And a couple of those games with Tejada and Xavi, how big he was during that series, and it was incredible. It really was.
Now I have to ask you, game 20. Would you ever believe that Tim Hudson could have an 11-0 lead and have it to go down to the bottom of the ninth inning?
You guys just put up those numbers with his 91 wins. It probably should have been about 110 for all the wins he should have had that the bullpen blew. But man, no, that was not what you'd expect to have seen. And but there again, we saw things in that series that we'd never seen. Why wouldn't it happen the other way?
I'm still shocked in that when Luis Alicea got the game tying hit, 2 outs at second, and Koch picked him off. I'm going, where are you going? So and then here comes Hatterberg with the game-winning home run. So it was almost like it was meant to be that he's going to get picked up.
And don't think for a second, I think win 18, I think that was my game, where I give up back-to-back homers in the ninth inning.
That's right.
All I wanted to do was finish another game. And I give up back, and one Koski to opposite field, where they showed it on the big screen yesterday or today at some point. It was a down and away fastball. I was like, really? I mean, those 2 pitches still haunt me. I still remember those 2. Those still make me angry.
Well, you know, daytime baseball ball always travels better anyway.
I don't care.
That was
those complete games. I wanted that.
Yeah, that's right. And about 2 hours and 10 minutes, 20 minutes, if that, or under 2.
No.
That was pretty special.
It was just such a good group of guys those years.
Right.
You know, I tell people we had 18, 19. We were in Toronto. We had 18, 19 guys at dinner one night.
That's right.
You know, and I know for a fact that doesn't happen that often anymore. You know, and that was those were some good times and good people.
Did Bob Melvin ask you to put on a uniform?
He said he might have an inning for me in the 9th. He said if I get bored up in that suite, he's like, just let me know. And I kindly said I only wish.
Yeah, that's the skipper.
He's have 38 active players,
that's
so
right, that's right.
What would one more be?
Yeah.
Well, that would be last minute.
Well, and just like you said about Barry Zito, that was kind of the last minute when Jesse Chavez actually got hit in the hip on a line drive, and as he went down and he flinched, he felt something in his ribcage, and then he woke up the next morning and hardly could believe it. This is pretty good. Can you analyze yourself?
Oh man,
how about the beard?
Hey, it still works.
Yeah.
See, that was smooth.
Yeah.
I wish I could have. Too bad I couldn't have done that the years in St. Louis.
That was flat ground. You put Huddy on the mound for a reason?
Yeah. No, that's just where they told us to go.
Yeah.
I was just happy I made it there.
That's good. Tell us about your family.
Oh man, I got 3 kids. They're going to be 8 and 6 in October. 2 of the boy, girl, boy. They're going to be 8 and 6 in October. And then my youngest is 3 and a half, another boy. And it's incredible, man. You know, my oldest is kind of at that age where he gets this a little more. Yeah. You know, but I took him. St. Louis came to play the D-backs, and I took him to the game, and we're down on the field for BP, and he's meeting half the players, the ones that I know, and sitting in the dugout, in the clubhouse, and then we sit right behind the dugout for the game. I take him up to the press box because it happened to be an ESPN game. So I go up there to see some of the guys, and we sit down, and he has no idea how good he has it. You know, by the 4th inning, he's like, Dad, can we go? I'm like, you got to be kidding. You know, it's just, he's never going to experience sitting in the bleachers at Old Comiskey like I did with my dad.
Yeah.
You know, but that's only going to be because this dad won't go sit in the bleachers.
This dad doesn't have to.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, yeah. There's a difference.
But it's great, though. I mean, I love it. There's something with them every day. I'm a human taxi service. Yeah. You know, but it's taking them to and from school every day in sports and stuff. I love it.
How are you dealing with the heat in Arizona?
Well, luckily we don't spend a whole lot of time there. We have a place that's a few hours away to get away from that heat in the summertime. So it's just up in Flagstaff, so it's just a 2-hour drive. So it's great, and I can take my kids up in the snow there in the wintertime. And it's awesome.
Now batting, number 51.
Well, and I bring that up because everybody remembers you here and Zito here as the 2 single guys with the married Tim Hudson.
Yeah.
You know, at the time. So
exactly. Zito spent most of his time in San Fran, and you know, it was great because I golfed with Mark Ellis and Chavi on Wednesday. You know, and they're getting all over me about coming out here. Oh, you guys are gonna good for you. You know, this and that. And Chavi jokingly goes, you know, somebody had to field all those rockets that were coming off the bat. You know, and I didn't have a quick enough response, and about a hole later I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, well, then you should be saying you're welcome for all the gold gloves.
That's right. That's right.
You know,
and you should have said, as he said, and I quote him, he said, when I got here, I said, please don't have a ball hit to me.
Yeah.
You know, and he became a 6-time Gold Glove winner thanks to Ron Washington.
And that's the one thing. That's what I think gets lost in all of this. Yeah, we had good teams, but defensively, what Wash did with whether it was Ellis or Frank Menachino or Tejada and Chavi, Hatterberg finally, you know, making that move over there. The guys that the little bit of a rotation we had at first base, man, defensively, they were awesome.
Well, you think about yourself and Hudson in particular, ground ball pitchers. You had to have,
absolutely.
And you had to have good defense. And you know, we watched Marcus Semien all year and how much he's improved, and we remember also that Miguel Tejada would throw the ball in the stands trying to turn a double play when it's impossible. So he became a great shortstop and played for many years. But I mean, if you're a ground ball pitcher on the left side of the infield, especially with the right-handed hitters, you've got to have it, and you definitely did. There's the man, Ron Washington. I mean, it's pretty impressive that for Xavi to win one of his Gold Gloves and give it to him and said, "Not without you," and says a lot about what he did for him.
And Wash, when I went to do the broadcasting stuff when he was managing Texas, we didn't go in to have a manager's meeting. And I couldn't get anything out of him because he kept talking about all the time here and stuff like that and asking me, how are things? And 20 minutes later, it's like, Wash, have you told us one thing about your team? He's like, oh, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Laurie has it, and that'll do it. We're going to say goodbye to the great Mark Mulder.
Yeah.
Mark,
well,
thanks for stopping by. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Thank you. Good to see you, buddy.
So the big three, we're having fun with them this weekend, and
it's good.
What a great shot. California is brought to you by PG&E, together building a better California. So bottom of the fifth inning, it's the Giants 5 and the A's nothing. So the A's trying to get something going against the right-hander Chris Heston, who throws a first pitch strike to Billy Butler. So great visiting with Mark Mulder, one of the good guys.
Pace did pick up when he cut it.
Of course.
That was pretty neat. Of course. Well, the A's with that golden opportunity last inning, bases loaded, one out, and just we didn't show the replay, but on the double play turn, the A's would have scored two if Volt's safe at first. Volt had scored, or at least rounded for a third to score, but the double play was called.
And Butler right back up the middle over the head of Heston and into center field for a hit. So second hit for the A's.
Right there. Again, elevated fastball. Not exactly where Heston, I'm sure, wanted to throw it. Did a good job of ducking out of the way. Not a bad idea to get out of the way of that one.
So here's Laurie, who bounced out to second in his first at bat. First pitch in the hole and a base hit to left field. 2 on, nobody out.
Well, maybe they've been watching the Giants hitter swinging early in the count. Butler, second pitch. Brett Laurie jumping on the first one, but look at the location. The difference of a sinker down, even going down to the dirt and getting a ground ball at somebody instead of an elevated fastball, which is hit hard. And this one through the infield.
So here's Sam Fuld. First pitch to Fuld, well off the plate outside. Fuld bounced back to the pitcher in the third inning. Simeon to follow here in the fifth. 2-0. So there's where that sinker comes in from Heston. He's already got one today. In for a strike. Lots of tailing action on that fastball. So 5-8-0 for the Giants. 0-3-1 for the A's, and now the count is 3-1. A walk and 3 strikeouts so far for Heston, and a hit batter. Fold hits it hard to Tomlinson, who drops it, picks it up, and that's going to be a double play. Ball was hit very hard, and Tomlinson stayed with it, so it's a 4-6-3 double play, 2 outs.
And you can join Jose Canseco, Dave Henderson, and other former A's players for the 2016 Oakland Athletics Fantasy Camp held from January the 15th to the 21st at the A's new spring training facility in Mesa, Arizona. Get out of the stands and onto the field. Create lasting memories of former A's greats. For more details, go to hendersonbaseball.com, or you can call 509-993-7338.
Now the A's need a 2-out hit for Marcus Semien. Semien hit a fly ball to center field to end the 3rd. And that one runs inside, and now it's 3-0. Hey, Ray, I can honestly say Dan Otero is up.
Wait until the 5th inning this time, though.
And a 4-pitch walk.
As Semien that time wouldn't offer it to good sinkers. Those were good sinkers.
Now batting center fielder, number 1, Billy Burr.
So not a great ratio. I just think he's the kind of guy that he is going to throw a fair amount of balls if you're patient, because his ball moves so much.
It's also 9 ground ball outs with the last double play. So he's doing exactly what he wants to do. And I think, to be honest, I think there's some pitchers who are not opposed to throwing the sinker. If they walk, they know that they're a ground ball away from getting 2 outs. And it's not really a bad ploy for him.
So 1-0 to the leadoff man, Billy Burns. Strikeout and a fly ball to left field. And that one, a strike. A little bit of a straighter fastball that time.
See, I think a home plate umpire should never give a sinker ball pitcher the high strike. First of all, he doesn't want to throw it in that zone, and Jim Wolf gave it to him with the higher strike. So from a pitcher standpoint, if you get the high strike and you get hitters to swing at pitches out of the strike zone, the sinkers, it's a win-win.
Butler at third, Semien at first. And that's inside, and now it's 2-1. Missed again, and now it's 3-1. 88 miles an hour. Heston is trying to get himself in trouble. The 3-1 delivery is popped up, and it'll reach the seats. So now a full count. So the runner at first, Simeon, will take off. Posey's going to play behind him.
Well, you have to think he's going to throw him a sinker. And conversation from Brown, his catcher, but if a sinker is your best pitch, you can throw it. Try to throw it to the knees and try to get him swinging. You have an aggressive hitter in Billy Burns who does not walk a lot. That is the sinker.
And a pickoff at third, and Butler just gets back. Clearly a planned play.
And as a reminder, he has to throw to third. There's no more fake the third and throw to first. Still missed that.
Do you?
I did.
3-2 delivery, and it's popped foul back behind the A's dugout.
Yeah, they eliminated that. The next one they're going to eliminate is the inside move.
Inside move, yeah.
Our friend Buck Showalter said, you can't have that play. Yeah, because you guys take off too soon. But
then we'll do 3-2 again with Simeon on the move. And here it is, and it's lofted into shallow center field. Pagan hustling in, Crawford out, and Crawford dropped it. And 2 runs are going to score. How about that? Not quite sure why Angel Pagan didn't catch it, but he backed off, and Crawford tried to make an over-the-shoulder catch. He dropped it, and 2 runs score.
And that's because Crawford went out, but your outfielder has to be emphatic and call him off. So much easier for an outfielder. Pagan is there, and you just have to call him off. And kind of look at that. He stopped. Maybe he didn't, but outfielder's got to say, it's mine. And you see how Crawford reached. I bet nothing was said because the way Crawford reached, it's almost like right there, he's anticipating a collision. Reached, and off his glove. And Pagan is there. He could have caught it easily. And Heston threw a very good curveball. Can't believe it wasn't caught. And 2 runs scored because of the hustle of Marcus Simeon all the way from first base.
So first pitch to Canna is a strike. So it goes as a double and 2 RBIs. And it was Crawford who dropped it, but I think that plays on Pagan.
You know,
no idea.
Yeah, infielders will say we go out, outfielders come in, but boy, you have to be emphatic as an outfielder. Just realize that's not an easy play for an infielder.
Crawford back on this one. He's got it side retired. So 2 runs on 3 hits, and we're going to the 6th. It's now 5-2. Giants lead the A's. fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to CSNCA Data Strong Fan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. And today's fan photo is from Emily. Says, "Go A's." So, top of the 6th inning, and we got a new pitcher. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. And it's Dan Otero who comes in for appearance number 40. And for Arnold Leone, 2 2/3 innings. And does not give up a run, gives up a hit and a walk, a couple of strikeouts. So he kept the game in check, and the A's got a couple runs back. So 5-2, 6th inning. This is Trevor Brown, the catcher. A sacrifice fly and an RBI single. So a couple of RBIs for Brown. He's 4 for 7 in the series. Pagan to follow, and then Tomlinson here in the 6th. The Mariners and the Angels. Keep you updated on some of these scores. They're tied 2-2 in the 8th inning. Iwakuma and Weaver started that game, and of course the A's will be in Anaheim tonight for a 3-game series, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Astros got a huge win today. They beat the Rangers 4-2. So they got a win, and they needed it. So Astros hanging on. This is updated. They're 2.5 back in the division, and the Astros now with a 1-game lead for that second wild card, pending the outcome of the Angels game. Twins won today. Burns coming in, and Burns grabs the line drive. 1 out. So the Astros 4, the Rangers 2. Dallas Keuchel got his 19th win of the year. Struck out 10 in 7 innings. So Keuchel is 19-8 with a 2.47 ERA. Martin Perez took the loss.
Now batting, number 16,
so the Astros will finish the season at Seattle and at Arizona. So Houston finishes with 53 home wins, 53-28. More action for Burns, who backs up on this one, and still backing up. He's got it.
53 home wins. We were talking about the A's record, which not a lot of home wins. And there's a difference in the standings in the West.
Kelby Tomlinson.
So Astros 3 in Seattle, day off on Thursday, and finish with 3 in Arizona.
And it looks like they're going to need those 3 wins in Arizona, in which they will not have a DH.
There's the Angels after their game. As I said, host the A's. And then the Angels will be at Texas Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So the Angels still have a very tough weekend series coming up. Twins won today 7-1 in Detroit. So the Twins hanging in there. They remain a 1.5 games back. They will finish the season at Cleveland for 4. And then return home against the Royals. So 4 against the Indians, 3 against the Royals. The remaining schedule for the Minnesota Twins.
I think one of the best things we discussed the Sunday finale. All games will start at exactly the same time. West Coast, East Coast. In fact, the game on Sunday, the A's final game is at 12:10 Seattle time, which normally is at 1:05, 1:10.
Fine with me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Good idea.
Yeah.
Be a nice easy inning for Dan Otero. 3 up, 3 down. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Reddick to lead it off. It's 5-2 Giants.
About this special day, the big three: Hudson, Mulder, and Zito. Of course, Zito with the A's, Hudson with the Giants, Mulder in Arizona. But all three here to throw out the ceremonial first pitches, and they did a great job with Hudson on the mound, Zito to the right, Mulder to the left. Of course, it was Hudson who was the first of the big three coming up in '99. Still need to find an iron for Mulder's jersey, but Zito and Hudson pressed out nicely. Not number 20, though. That might have been stuck away someplace. Anyway, find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PICK-ATT, mobilizing your world.
So those three had 275 career wins in the green and gold combined. Not too shabby. So Reddick, Muncy, and Vogt here in the 6th inning. Reddick, a base hit to right field. Well, here come the A's again.
It's always a good sign for a team if the starting pitcher stays in the game and you can pick up something that he might be doing. Third at bat for Reddick, and he stayed back on the changeup. And even though the bat and his body went out in front, the bat stayed back and able to rake it into right field. With that hit, some open activity for the Giants.
So Muncy's first at bat. He came in for Valencia. Valencia was hit by a pitch in the 4th inning, hit him in the elbow, and he left the game after going to first base. Shift is on for Muncy. And he hits one down the left field line, foul again. So the count 0-2. That's George Cantos, right-hander, warming up with Heston at 74 pitches, but he breezed through the 3rd inning, but will work hard in the 4th inning and then in the 5th inning. Fastball is high. Vogt to follow. That one drops outside.
Muncy's always done a good job. We saw him in the spring. We see him throughout the season, and he waits and waits, and that's why a lot of his hits are to the opposite field. Although the Giants playing him straight up in the outfield, a pull in the infield, like I mentioned, but he does wait and does a good job of it.
Just a bit outside and a good take. 2-2. 77 pitches for Heston. Reddick runs, and the ball is hit to left field, hit pretty well. Parker's going back, still going back. He's near the wall, and it's off the wall, and it rolls back toward the infield. Reddick's going to score easily, and Muncy's going to stop at third, and it's 5-3. He gets the first triple of his career and knocks in a run.
Well, that ball kept carrying. I thought he had a chance to get out, but he waited and very well hit to left field. And going back when it was Parker had it, thought he had it, and did not have the wall stop him, but it was going to stop him. And the way the ball came back, and I always like to see these. Don't like to see the injury possible, but I always like to see a guy with the speed of Billy Burns. That's an inside of Parker.
So pitching change. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. So Cantos coming in. A's have scored one. Looking for more. Domino's.com now hiring baseball fans at jobs.domino's.com. So 5-3 Giants lead. And the A's with a run in and a pretty good shot for another run, as they got a runner at third and nobody out. One of these opportunities that you have to cash in on.
That's right. It's there. It's a gift.
It is a gift.
They got a two-run gift last inning, but the guy not calling off Crawford in this one. The A's have a couple of opportunities. Vogt, it's the same ground ball he hit his last at bat. Might be a double down the line. Posey is playing him off the line now. But it is there for the taking.
Cantos' first pitch drops in for a strike to Vogt. So it was 5-0 after 3 innings, but the A's hacking away here at that lead. Hard slider that Cantos likes to throw, and Vogt fouls it back. So 0-2 the count. Butler to follow. After Butler, it would be Laurie. That one, a little flare, and it's going to fall. It's a hit, and it's 5-4. Muncy trots in to score.
Muncy halfway, so once the ball did drop, he was able to walk in and jammed on the breaking ball with Stephen Vogt. Barked the hands in, still jammed, but did hit it hard enough to get a sac fly, though, and he gets a base hit with it over the head of Tomlinson. That's Muncy halfway because he wasn't going to be able to tap, too softly hit, but score easily, and that's what you do with the ball that you cannot tag. You go halfway.
No, still nobody out. So Billy Butler hits single, triple, single, and 2 runs in. Fastball at 89 miles an hour. Butler has struck out and singled. Butler's been one of the A's hottest hitters in the month of September. .322 hitter. Pitch is hit off the end of the bat, foul. So the count even at 2-2. Butler's got 17 RBIs in 23 games in the month of September. So trying to really salvage what has been a tough year for him, and he's doing that.
His work ethic, the latter part of the season, is going to pay off in the future for him and for the ball club.
Running in on Butler, and he fouls it into the A's dugout. He's had just 1 hit through the first 4 innings, but 3 hits in the 5th, 3 more here in the 6th. Short lead at first by Vogt. Pitch is down and away, and now it's 3-2.
And that's how you trust your hands right there, and you recognize a breaking ball out of the strike zone. We will see hitters that will swing at pitches that are bad. Even veterans do it. Butler that time took it nicely on 2-2. Another curveball.
Both bullpens are quiet. Vogt runs, and the pitch is hit towards center, hit deep. Pagan's going back, but he's going to have room. He gets there right near the warning track. Gets it back in, and that's out number 1. So pretty well hit ball by Butler. Tough part of the ballpark. And now Laurie hits.
Now batting second baseman, number 15, Brad Laurie.
So Laurie has a hit today. Singled in the 5th, also grounded out back in the 3rd. So Laurie is 1 for 6 in the series. He bounces one just foul down the 3rd baseline. Duffy will make it a souvenir.
First pitch swinging again for Laurie, as he did in his last at bat last inning.
Sam Fuld will be next. Laurie takes inside 91 miles an hour from Contos. Angels still leading the Mariners. It's 3-2, and that game is now in the 9th inning. Every game of major importance for the Angels. Crawford charges out at second. Tomlinson's throw to first, not in time. So Laurie hustling down the line beats the throw. 2 outs, close play at first. Looked like Laurie had it beat.
They got to take a look at it. Brett Laurie runs hard, and let's show you what we have on this. 6-4 on the course at second, and then let's play ball.
Now batting, left fielder, 23.
It's amazing how it looks like the runner, the hitter, is running through the bag, and then you slow it down, you see them jumping, and it's just kind of a human nature thing to jump at the bag, thinking you're getting there quicker.
So with 2 outs, Fuld will hit. Fuld is 0 for 3, or make it 0 for 2. Hit into a double play in the 5th, grounded back to the pitcher in the 3rd. The first 3 innings of this game really belong to the Giants. The middle 3 innings have belonged to the A's. Giants offense has gone quiet in the middle of the game.
Carbon copy yesterday, just the opposite. The Giants scoring late and scoring often.
There's a strike on the outside corner, and the count 1-1. Duffy about to step onto the grass. Fuld shoots one foul. Foul ball alley. Fan stood up, and he had a perfect play. It was right at him. He had a glove, and he missed it. He was prepared. It's a play you got to make, I think, Ray. I don't know. What do you think?
E-fan. Yep.
And Fuld swings and misses, side retired, but the A's get a little bit closer. 2 runs on 3 hits. So we are now on to the 7th. It's now 5-4. 6 and 10:30. It's over on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. We'll have highlights from this A's Giants game. We'll have highlights from the Raiders win in Cleveland. And we'll have highlights from the 49ers game. It is not going well for the 49ers down in Arizona. Kelly Johnson and Henry Wolford co-host. So Dan Otero, who had a very nice 3-up, 3-down 6th inning. Back out there for the 7th, Duffy, Posey, Bird, and the relievers have done a very good job so far in this game for the A's. It will have to continue if they're going to finish off the comfort behind win. Daniel Coulombe starts to throw. Two and one to Matt Duffy, who's 1 for 3 today. He's 4 for 13 in the series. He's knocked in 3 runs. And he's got a home run. Muncy has it. Muncy throws right there, 1 out. True story brought to you by McDonald's. On this date in 1989, both the A's and the Giants clinched their division. How about that? Out to meeting in the World Series. The A's defeated the Rangers at home. The Giants lost to the Dodgers in LA, but it's a little bit later on in that evening. The Padres lost, or somebody lost. Maybe the Cincinnati Reds lost, and the Giants celebrated anyways. It's our old friend Mike Krukow. He doesn't look any different. 26 years ago.
Kruk and Kite. Kruk's always got the baseball. You know, pitchers are like that. You know, just carry a baseball around.
He gets to about 110 flips, and then he gets a little tired. Sets the ball spot. 1-1 to Posey. Off the middle, and Posey's got another hit. So he's 2 for 4 in today's game. 6 for 13 in the series.
Well, just another very good swing, and today from the A standpoint, you got to be wondering how anybody gets him out. Great approach to hitting.
Number 6.
I think we have seen in this weekend series.
So here's Bird. Bird is hitless today. He's had a pretty good series, but 0 for 3 today. 2 groundouts and a strikeout. And that one is belted toward left center. Sanford on the move, and a nice play by Fuld. And now Posey's going to have to hustle back. The throw to first is a little offline. It hits Posey. It rolls away, but he will stay at first. Heck of a play by Sanford off the bat. That looked like a double to the gap.
Ball had to be hit towards the end of the bat for it to die as quickly as it did. Sam Fuld got a great jump on it, but I thought when it left as a sinker down and in that it was going to go all the way, and surprisingly the ball hooked back to Sam Fuld. Usually it's just the opposite. It's going to slice away from the outfielder or the left fielder. A left-handed or right-handed batter is. Got to it and came close to doubling him up.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and repair experts. Coulombe coming in.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen.
SFN California is brought to you by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. And by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
So top of the 7th with the Giants leading 5-4. So fourth pitcher of the game for the A's, Coulombe. Coulombe to face Crawford. Crawford hits it hard off of Muncy, who scrambles after it. He'll throw to second, and one pitch. Coulombe gets out of it. Side retired. So 7th inning stretch coming up from the Coliseum. It's 5-4 San Francisco. Tim Hudson returning to the mound at the Coliseum, where it all started for them. Neither pitched well, but both got a very heartfelt thank you from the fans, and I think they felt the same way back. So it was a fun day. Those two guys in Oakland A's history. Zito's 4th in wins. Hudson is 6th. Top 10 in starts. Top 7 in innings. 4th and 5th in strikeouts. And I mean, you look at where they stand, and again, really only 5 years together, Ray, which is not a huge amount of time. 2000 to 2004. When those two guys, and Mulder as well, were together. So today, another interesting ball game. It's 5-4.
But it's nice also that the A's had Grady Fuson, who was instrumental in drafting all three. So scouting director at the time. And you know, you think of Tim Hudson, how quickly he was bypassed because he weighed 160 pounds and he's 6 feet. But that's what I think that is very kind of detrimental to the scouting process, because you look at somebody and look at his numbers and you say we can't draft him, but you have to see him pitch, you have to see him play.
Sure.
I mean, and what he did, he had 18 home runs and 95 runs batted in as a senior in college, in addition to pitching. So great numbers for Hudson as a position player and a pitcher.
2-2 pitch curve is hit foul.
What do they have in college, Cap? You know better than I. Is it the Friday pitch or Saturday pitch? I mean,
yeah, usually.
That's a Friday is the best, supposedly. I guess they saved the best for Friday in the first of a 3-game series. I think Huddy was 6, or a Sunday pitcher, and you know, everybody wanted watching Friday and Saturday, and not so much Hudson.
I want to know who the Friday pitcher was.
Exactly. Which, fortunately for the A's, they kept scouting Tim Hudson and drafted him. And For Zito, Barry went from various colleges, junior colleges, but you can sign out of a junior college anytime. A 4-year college, you have to wait 3 years before you're eligible to sign. So he kept going back and forth from junior colleges, ended up signing. And Mark Mulder. I mean, that's fabulous big three. And like the 73, I like to think of 2 lefties and a righty. Those guys were the same. 2 lefties and a righty.
Lefty throws across the diamond to get Simeon. And there's so many different angles to look at those guys. I mean, one was from California, one was from the South, and one was from the Midwest.
Exactly.
Now batting center fielder.
And they were all different.
They were all different, exactly.
From a personality standpoint. And I think a lot of times that's probably good.
Yeah. And you know, Mark Mulder, I think the one thing you could say about him, he could get a strikeout when he wanted to. And he said that, but let me get 3 outs on 3 pitches. I'll take that and get back to the dugout. And that's why he was able to work quickly, got the ground ball outs, and did get back to the dugout a lot. Southsider, Mark Mulder.
That's right.
So there, just reminding him, which was a good point. He said he was a White Sox fan.
He was a White Sox fan.
Right.
Yeah. Sat on the bleachers at Comiskey's.
Yeah.
Those bleachers were a long ways from home plate, if I remember correctly.
Yes, they were. And that field had horrible drainage.
There's a little smell out there.
And it rained in Chicago, and you could see that little area in the outfield, and water just stayed right there. Slosh, slosh. I mean, not too many parks here. You could have the disco night. And
anything can happen.
Not anymore after what happened there.
Not a great promotion.
No. 10-cent beer night or disco night, I don't think will ever come back.
Burns bounces one. Tomlinson has it. His quick throw to first, and it's past Posey. And it's going to bounce off the side wall, and Burns is going to go to second. And that is the tying run. So that is a huge 90 feet.
And another infield hit for Billy Burns. And if Billy Burns, based on that one play alone, does not believe speed never goes into a slump, that's it. Tomlinson hurry, bounce, can't get it at first as Posey. Posey probably should have come off the bag with no chance to get Burns anyway to keep the ball from going past him. So Burns not only gets the base hit out of the box quickly, but after the ball gets past Posey, he's able to get into second base very quickly.
So we got a new pitcher, and we'll tell you about him when we come back.
$800 homes help provide relief to victims who suffered significant losses by donating through the AIDS Community Fund at athletics.com/fire. Every dollar collected will be donated to disaster relief funds. Donate now at athletics.com/fire. fire. We hope we do. There have been too many fires in Northern California.
Man, not a lot of relief in sight either.
No.
So the A's have the tying run at second base with one out here in the bottom of the seventh. Once trailing 5-0. Now it's 5-4. So Corey Guerin comes in. He's making just his 5th appearance. September call-up. A funky delivery, as you'll see right here. And that pitch on the inside corner. It's not as drastic as Pat Neshek, but it's a little bit. It's almost a mild Pat Neshek. A double in 3 trips. And this very well could be a 1-batter appearance for Aaron, because Reddick and Muncy to follow. Javier Lopez is warming up and he's ready out in the bullpen. A shot foul, a slider that hung right out over the plate, and Canha had a great swing at.
And that's a case of Guerin paying a little bit too much attention to Burns' second. He almost kept looking at it before he turned to deliver to the plate, and as a result hung it, and Canha just a little bit out in front. The ball backed up into the wheelhouse of Mark Canha.
Strickland also up, right-hander. Keeping Burns close. Outfield straight away for Canha. Burns still has a big lead, dancing off, and the pitch just a bit inside. Even though Tomlinson is playing very close to second base, Burns still looks like he could go.
And he might be thinking about it, depending on the kind of jump he thinks he can get. And because the inside move is one that makes it a little bit more difficult. At one time, stealing third might have been easier than stealing second or from first.
Again, rolled foul. I don't think there's any question that Guerin is very concerned about Billy Burns. Maybe that'll be an advantage for Mark Canha.
Might see him get a slider away from him, and he takes it to right field. And because Thompson is playing him close, sliders aren't breaking as sharply as Guerin seems to want at this point. There it is. That's the definition of speed right there.
So the count remains 1-2. The ball's tapped toward Duffy, who charges and makes a nice play, and his throw to first is in time. Almost a do or die.
Well, he made it that way and made a great play, and you're right about this Bochy coming out, but Duffy taking the short hop. That's got to be a great feeling for an infielder to charge, take the short hop, and with the ball and glove knows he can make the play.
So with 2 outs, Lopez is coming in, the left-hander. We'll see if Reddick hits.
Electric, as home base for games at Hohokam Park have been announced. Enjoy a first-class experience. Get an early glimpse of next year's squad at the A's all-new spring training venue, Mesa, Arizona. For more information, visit athletics.com/spring. Today, even Mark Mulder said he wants to come over and take a look at the new spring training home of the Athletics in Mesa. It is beautiful, beautiful complex.
So that's Eric Fisher. And Eric works on the crew, and as does his wife, Kira. But today, taking the time off. Want to know to Reddick. Game on the line here in the 7th. Reddick rips one foul. Lopez. This would be a throw under the hitting speed. The delivery is down low, and
let it go.
He can be a tough at bat. See if Reddick can come through with a clutch 2-out hit. 73 appearances over only 37 innings pitched. So he's in there for one reason and one reason only. 2-1 now. Reddick has grounded out, he has walked, and he has singled and scored. The speedy Burns is the tying run. And this one hit high in the air, foul territory, and Burke cannot quite get it. And Reddick, holding his breath, will get another shot.
Does a good job as he's running down towards the bullpen to avoid the actual bullpen mound. Smart man, because that is a tough incline on the back of the mound.
So 2-2. Muncy would be next. Sidewinder deals, and it's low. So try to sink it there. 84 miles an hour, full count. Burns ready to go on crack of the bat. 3-2 pitch is popped up, and it's near Crawford and Duffy, and it'll be Crawford who waits, and Crawford shuffles a little bit at the end, makes the catch, and Lopez gets out of the jam. So we're on to the 8th inning. It's the Giants 5 and the A's 4. 3 home runs in a game since 2000. Rookie. I'm surprised the list is that big. Rookies, 3 homers in a game. Johnny Gomes did it. Cody Ross, Joey Votto, Longoria, McCutchen, Jose Ortiz. Doesn't happen that often.
Even for guys who've been around a long time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Parker today has singled and scored. He's walked and he has struck out. Facing Colomb, lefty on lefty. And that one is fair. Rolled right down the third base line. Fulton hustles to it and he spins around, fires it back in, and he holds Parker to a single. So Sam Fulton hustling over there, and he did that famous Sam Fulton throw where he throws it and almost does a cartwheel.
Well, he got to it quickly, and that looked like a double off the bat. Muncy no chance to get to it as it squibbed past him. Just inside the line. Can't even dive for it, and you're right. Sam hustling to get to it, the 360 spin, and then let it go and go down. That's right. Momentum going backwards on this one, not forward. And actually a pretty accurate throw.
I like it. So 10 hits now for the Giants, 8 for the A's, is Matt Williamson. The DH steps up. Single, sac fly, and a ground out for Williamson. The Angels beat the Mariners 3-2 final. Salas got the win in relief. Trumbo homered for the Mariners. Freeze homered for the Angels. And then Mejica starts to throw. So the Angels remain a half game behind the Astros for that second wild card spot. That's a base hit to left field, so Matt Williamson gets his second hit. So everything is final in the American League, so these are all updated now. So the Rangers lead the Astros by 2.5 in the division, Angels by 3, and then look at the wild card. Twins hanging in there, Indians 4 back, so they'll need a miracle. The Yankees won today 6-1, so they're closing in on that first wild card spot. So it'll be an interesting week. And Bob Melvin makes the call, and it's going to be Edward Mejica coming in. So Colomb is done. Mejica coming in here in the top of the 8th.
Early 2016 priority seating, and choose your exact seating location for next season. The A's offer a variety of full and partial season plans that qualify for great benefits. including half-price parking, flexible ticket exchange program, and more. For more information, call 510-638-GOAZA or visit athletics.com/2016.
So Edward Mujica comes in. He was hoping to get back and pitch before the end of the season, and he's going to get a chance to do that. Trevor Brown shows bunt, pulls the bat back. It was September 13th against Texas when he strained his right hamstring, so he's been out a while. Going to cover first base.
Yeah, blew a tire.
He did blow a tire.
He's looking for a patch. He's not looking for a strike to let Brown bunt.
Well, he's not missing by a lot, but Brown taking those pitches that are just off the outside corner. So 2-0. We'll see if the bunt stays on with the young catcher Trevor Brown, who's 1 for 2 today with an RBI single and a sacrifice. 2 on, nobody out. And it's low, and now it's 3-0.
It's a one-run game. The A's would like to keep it that way. A couple of opportunities to try to come back and not need to allow the Giants to score more.
And that one called the strike. And it's 3-1.
He's probably taking on that one to make sure he throws a strike. Now he'll get serious about bunting again, I would assume. Everybody's charging. Always tempting to take off the bunt and let a hitter swing.
Here comes Muncy at third. Canna at first. Swinging this time. And he popped it up. Vogt throws the mask and Vogt grabs it. And the A's will take it.
Steven, you might as well, when the ball goes up, don't even think about looking for any help. Because he looked at Canna. Canna said, hey, go get him, big boy. It's all yours. And once you look, well, he's up there. Okay, I'll throw the mask out there. Steven knows that you're a corner infield. He's played first, and he knows you go in and try to make it easier because it's a tougher play for a catcher. But you're right, a couple of bunt opportunities, but got to 3-0, 3-1, and decided to swing and straight up the chute.
If you do that, you better not do what he did and pop it up.
Exactly. Exactly.
Better go the other way in the dugout. Here's Pagan in the dirt. Sacrifice fly for Pagan early in the game. 2 for 10 in the series. So Parker and Williamson are the 2 runners. A little bit outside, and now it's 2-0. So Mujica fell behind 3-0 to Brown, and now 2-0 to Pagan. Strickland still throwing in the Giants bullpen. That one in for a strike. Mujica is the 5th pitcher in the game for the A's. They used 8 yesterday. Giants have used 4 today. They used 8 yesterday. Drive to center. Burns going back. Still going back. And Burns has it on the warning track. So Parker will tag. He'll go to third. So a long out, 2 away. So the situation now, 1st and 3rd, 2 outs, and Tomlinson is the hitter.
Tomlinson.
Tomlinson is 2 for 4 today with an RBI. He's 7 for 15 in the series. And a breaking ball, and Tomlinson out in front of that one. Tried it again. This time Tomlinson laid off, and it dropped low.
The way Tomlinson thinks about right field also chokes up a little bit. That it'd be tough for him to chase bad pitches. Pretty good at the plate and recognizing the pitches.
Little pop up behind third. Muncy and Simeon together, and Simeon makes the catch. And the A's get out of it and keep the Giants off the board after their first 2 hitters reach. Bottom of the 8th coming up, 5-4 San Francisco. Four, 8-1 for the Athletics. Heston 5+. Sean Nolan was knocked out early. The guys who have come in after Nolan have been terrific. Billy Burns, 2-run double. A little help from mistake by the Giants defense. So Lopez comes out. He's planning on facing Muncy, but Smolinski has been announced as the pinch hitter. So Bruce Bochy's going to the hard-throwing right-hander Hunter Strickland.
field. And it's going back to Sparkle. Big Head's watching off the wall. And staying in to score with an RBI is ready. But actually, once you're thinking about inside park home run, held up by Ron Washington. First major league triple. Congratulations, Max Muncy, our Honda player of the game.
So the wheels are turning here as Strickland comes in, and he's going to face the pinch hitter for the pinch hitter, Eric Sogard. First pitch is on the outside corner. So originally it was going to be Lopez against Muncy. Bob Melvin sent Smolinski out there to hit. Bruce Bochy brought in Strickland. Bob Melvin called Smolinski back and sent Sogard out there. So Smolinski got in the game but didn't do anything.
That's an appearance.
He got an appearance. Yes, he did. So that's what you can do in September. You may not have been able to do that with expanded roster.
I don't think so.
But when it's all said and done, it's Sogard pinch hitting against Strickland. The count quickly 0-2. Vogt to follow, and then Butler here in the bottom of the 8th inning. In a high fastball, and that's Strickland's specialty at 96 miles an hour. So strikeout, one away here in the bottom of the 8th.
Another running fastball, and you're right. Good velocity, great velocity from Strickland. And what he went through a couple of years ago in postseason. Was it last year where he gave up a lot of home runs in postseason, but come back this year very strongly. That kind of fastball, pretty good.
So with one out, here's Vogt. And that one bounced over the mound. Crawford has it. Crawford throws 2 outs. So Vogt goes after the first pitch. Shift was on, so Crawford was right there. Fernando Rodriguez getting set to come in for the 8th. So 2 away, and here's Butler. Butler 1 for 3. He singled and scored in the 5th. First pitch curveball from Strickland, which he will mix one in there occasionally, but mostly the old number 1. Missed again, 2-0. So Butler sitting on a 2-0 pitch. And a 2-0 curveball. That's a pretty good pitch. And it's a strike, so 2-1.
About the 2 runs that Heston gave up on the Billy Burns. Turned out to be a double to center field. Should have been caught. That was a 3-2 curveball. So Brown not opposed to calling those pitches, and pitchers making some very good ones, and he did it again.
Now that play looms large. I mean, granted, the Giants still lead, but you're talking 5-2 or 5-4.
You could really go to the Giants' first inning. If that had been played properly, only 2 could have scored. And then the second inning was an error, unearned run. So, I mean, it's a game that you make a mistake and it's hurt. Yep. It's hurt both teams. Maybe Pagan not calling off Crawford allowed a couple of runs to score. Very difficult play for a shortstop going out.
We'll see if Strickland stays with the fastball. He's thrown a couple pretty good breaking balls to Butler. And he got under that one, and it's 3-2.
Here comes the curveball. Tolliver, the Rangers did it to Billy Butler to end the game as the Rangers were in town.
You call him curveball?
He threw a 2-2 fastball and then a 3-2 curve. See if something off speed here.
Hit to center, but playable for Pagan. And as usual, Ray Fosse was correct.
No.
I should listen to you more, Ray. Take your advice. 5-4 as we go to the ninth. The authentic Raiders fan is CSN. Raider fans are happy as their team got a road win in Cleveland earlier today.
Make them 2-1.
Yeah, and road wins have not been easy to come by for the Raiders over the years, but they won today 27-20 on the shores of Lake Erie.
They did it before it got cold.
Yeah, they were there. They were there at a good time.
Yeah.
Fernando Rodriguez comes in to pitch the top of the ninth to try to keep this a one-run game. And Ray, let's give the shout out to Leon, Otero, Colon, and Majica.
Absolutely.
Shutout baseball since the Giants scored 2 in the third. So the last 5 innings, I got 3 hits for the Giants and no runs. And this game at 1.5-0 and starting to get away on the A's a little bit. First pitch to Duffy rolled foul. Duffy is 1 for 4.
Well, we saw what Sam Full did on Friday night, tagging at first and getting the second base and scoring on Reddick's base hit. Today, with him hustling on Parker's ball down the left field line, Casilla, the closer, gets loose. Kept Parker to a single, and that gets to second. Might have changed things last inning, but good defense on Full's part.
Good play by Rodriguez as he grabs it. So Duffy is retired. He's 1 for 5.
Dinner time.
That's live shot right there.
He said, sell out again. Lots of food left over.
That belly will be a little bit bigger in about 2 hours because you're right. He's going to have a lot to choose from. He and his friends, of course.
They're all lined up. They're all lined up, man. And they're saying, okay, people, it's 3 hours. That's it. No extras. Otherwise, we're going to head down anyway.
Curve to Posey is a strike.
And I'm always amazed, too, Ken. Those same Seagulls starting tomorrow night. They'll be over in San Francisco.
No question. It's the same ones.
Yeah, same ones exactly. And they'll be back for the Raiders games and then, you know, all the games taking place. I mean, these are intelligent Seagulls.
And they will draw your attention, especially if they're flying right over your head.
A little cool breeze.
Yeah. 2-1 to Posey. Bird to follow. Posey has a couple of hits today and a run scored. 2 for 4. Taps that one towards Simeon. Simeon flips it across. 2 away. Well, join us tomorrow when the A's hit the road for the last road trip of the year, and we'll be in Anaheim for the first 3 to take on the Angels. Felix Dubron, Hector Santiago will be the matchup tomorrow, and then Bassett and Tropiano, a couple of young right-handers on Tuesday, and Gray and Richards on Wednesday. But tomorrow night, join us at 6:30 with A's pregame live. So the home of A's baseball is CSN. And the Angels will enter tomorrow night's game a half game out of first place. All right, take that back. Excuse me. Half game behind the second wild card team, and that's the Astros. So really, Astros, Angels, Twins battling for that final American League wild card spot. Yankees got a pretty good grip on the first wild card.
I think what the Angels will be trying to do all next week is trying to win the division, settle for the wild card, and there's a possibility that next weekend they could be, who knows how close to the Rangers if they remain in first place. It'd be a nice final week of the season, especially the weekend. Except for maybe the Astros, who have to go to Arizona.
And we'll see if Sonny Gray is a go on Wednesday, Ray. Sounds like he's a little bit banged up.
Yeah, I guess he came out early in the 6th inning, or after 6, with a hip issue. My left is about to bother me.
Yeah. You won't come out after 6.
No, I'll be there for the duration.
You'll do the whole season. No time off for Ray Foster.
Well, that's what happened to Tim Hudson yesterday. It was right hip problem. He's amazing that he was able to go out and pitch yesterday.
Reddick should get to it, and he will. So, and the bullpen continues their great job, and Casillas coming in. It's 5-4 Giants as we head to the bottom of the 9th. So bottom of the 9th, 5-4 Giants lead the A's. So one more shot for the Athletics. They always seem to make it interesting in the 9th. We'll see if they can do it against Santiago Casilla. So the final home game of the season. And it's been a fun weekend.
And you know what?
Will try to walk off.
It's going to be a one-run game regardless. And that's kind of fitting for this season.
Yep.
One-run game. The A's would like to be on the positive side of one-run game this time. Now I say it's got to be or will be. It's not necessary. If the A's do tie it, then it could change things. But see if they can mount a comeback in the 9th. Another sellout today. 3 consecutive.
So Laurie, Fuld, and Simeon, the 3 scheduled hitters here in the bottom of the 9th inning. against Santiago Casilla. Outfield straight away, infield straight up.
And here's a case, Cap, where Laurie's ready. He's just waiting for Santiago Casilla to get set. Now he'll get it.
Casilla is very slow.
Yeah.
First pitch in first strike. So it's been Heston, Cantos, Guerin, Lopez, Strickland, and now Casilla. Strickland with the perfect 8th inning and a strikeout. Pitch, curveball hit towards center, hit pretty well. Pagan going back, and Pagan reaches up to make the catch. So Laurie, he reached for it a little bit, but still hit it pretty well. And 1 out.
And Derek Norris' first major league home run came off Santiago Garcia. It was a walk-off. And that salvaged a 3-game series, at least 1 game. Dino, down with San Diego, is one of about 14 walk-offs in 2012. 14 count in the postseason game.
First pitch to full. Bunts, pulls the bat back, and it's a ball. 1-0. That's right. The A's had lost a couple of tough games, the first 2 games of that series, and they needed that hit, and they got it. Sanfold is 0 for 3. A couple of ground outs and a strikeout. 2-0. Coco Crisp has come out into the on-deck circle. Outfield straightaway, Duffy in on the grass. And there's a strike from Casilla. Pours it in there at 92 miles an hour. Maybe getting ready to snap a celebration. He's need a couple of base runners. And that's a strike. Didn't have to be. Full cannot be thrilled with that pitch or that call.
That's a big pitch. That's a 2-1. That could have been 3-1. Instead it's 2-2, and
that's not a strike.
It's not a strike according to what should have been, but Jim Wolf called it a strike. Didn't fool Sam Fold. Must have fooled him.
And a sharp breaking ball, and Fold chased it down and in. So that's out number 2. So maybe a frustrating at bat for Fold.
It enabled Casilla to throw an even harder curveball with 2 strikes after one that was called a strike.
Ladies and gentlemen, Royal Knights, batting for Simeon, number 4, Coco Crisp.
So Coco will try to keep this game going. Coco hitting for Simeon. Burns would be next. Casilla kicks, and the first pitch, a curve a little bit high. Coco is 4 for 11 as a pinch hitter. Now it's 2-0. So sellout crowd, most of them on their feet. And that's the ball, and it's 3-0. Casilla will do this. He will make it interesting. strike. So now it's 3-1, 94 miles an hour. So Coco may just sit on a pitch here.
That hesitation might have been that Casilla wanted to throw something other than a fastball. He's shaking that much.
Now he's ready. 3-1 pitch. And Coco may have swung at ball 4. Pitch looked like it was a little down, but it was a fastball, so 3-2. Giants trying to stay alive for at least another day. A's trying to finish their home schedule with some 9th inning heroics. Two pitch, fastball, foul, straight back. Coco was on it.
In these cases, you start thinking, I do not want to get beat with my second best pitch. Steven Vogt right there, called 38 fastball Friday night to Sean Doolittle. You have to think that Casilla might be thinking the same thing. If he throws a curve and he hangs it, Coco sitting fastball might get out in front, pull it down the right field line. So, with that said, maybe he's going to stay fastballs. After taking a little time to rub up the curve.
Big 2 pitch, here it is, and he went with a breaking ball, missed badly, and the A's are still alive.
And that was a please throw it for a strike and don't hang it for a home run, and he didn't either. And I hang that curveball inside part of the plate to Billy Burns, let it slap at the seats. That's the breaking ball that he's hit twice, one for a home run, one off the wall.
So Burns steps in, he's 2 for 4.
Would he swing at the first pitch again?
I don't see why he wouldn't.
I know. A straight up infield, outfield, third baseman Duffy, front of the bag at third. Quick pitch.
One is low.
Quick pitch by Casilla. Thinking about Chris. One of the things that you don't see enough of probably, and that is a base runner attempting to steal on the closer. Because they usually don't have very good moves. Said that forever, and
Coco not running, swing and a miss, and the count 1-1.
That's the breaking ball down and in for Mike Leake, and Burns hit it over the outside scoreboard, just up on the ledge. There's the breaking ball into the wheelhouse of Billy Burns.
Missed outside, 2-1. Off-speed pitch from Casilla.
Yes, if it was high. See, that's what happens when you get a gift curveball called. You want everything.
Outfield. Straight up. Slapped foul. So now the count 2-2. Ball into the gap with 2 outs. Coco great speed. And that's what the A's are looking for. Casilla steps back on the mound. Coco runs, and it's a curveball, and he struck him out, and that's the ball game. So the A's get a runner in the 9th, but cannot get him home, and the home schedule comes to an end for the Athletics. The Giants winning this afternoon, and they take 2 out of 3 over the weekend, so they keep their extremely slim playoff hopes alive. So your final this afternoon, it took 3 hours and 11 minutes in front of a sellout crowd of 36,067. The Giants beat the Athletics by a final score of 5-4. So that wraps up the home part of this schedule. The A's will head to Anaheim and then Seattle this coming week to wrap up the full schedule. But so the A's now 65-91 on the year, and lose 2 out of 3 to the Giants, but the home record when it's all said and done, Ray, 34-47. It's disappointing. I don't think there's any doubt about that. We talked about it at the beginning of the show. You got to win games at home. You may not have to win 53 like the Astros did, but you'd like to play over 500 at home. That was not the case this year.
It turned out to be another one-run loss, and I think that's been the season for the Athletics. You will not see probably again a season for the Athletics in which the total losses, the number of losses by 1 run, are going to be one that you just don't even think that's going to happen. Between extra innings and the 1-run losses, it's been kind of demise, and the home record has not been that good. And I guess the one positive, 3 sellouts over the weekend, and the final weekend, final home games, you get 3 sellouts. And I think we knew at the beginning of the season when the Giants were scheduled to play the A's here, we didn't know which team might be in contention, with both, with neither. And it turns out the Giants are hanging on. At least the A's are, of course, out of it. But a tough homestand and our home schedule for this season, and let's just hope that the future is going to be a little bit different.
But it was a fun weekend with the Big 3 celebration. The Zito Hudson was very cool on Saturday, so a fun weekend of baseball, but disappointing as well as the A's lose 2 out of 3 to the Giants. So again, the final score this afternoon is 5-4, the Giants over the A's in a 1-run game. So heading out on the road for one more week. 5-4 is your final. You've been watching A's baseball on CSN California. It's part of the NBC Sports Group. Don't go away. A's post game live starts right after the break.